Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Arman Pasha from New York and I will be your moderator for today. On behalf of MCNA and YMJ, I would love to warmly welcome everyone to our second session of the summer series in 2026 Financial Bootcamp. Over the next 2 weeks, we will learn about important life skills such as budgeting, smart spending, entrepreneurship, charitable giving, decision making, all from an Islamic perspective of being responsible with the blessings Allah has given us. Before we set off on today's course, let me tell you about some super cool programs we offer. Because the fun never stops at MCNA and YMJ, we offer Prime Time for Kids, a free monthly program where we get to talk about fun and important topics like entrepreneurship, boredom, and time management. Sometimes we even have a prime time for parents too. MCNA also offers youth courses during the spring and fall. Our last program was Journey Around the Globe, in which we explored different Muslim countries around the world. We offer YMJ Book Club in the spring and fall. If you love reading and you're 11 to 13 years old, this is the place for you. Join us as we explore amazing books together. Please contact your local chapter for more details. Did you know MCNA and YMJ has a nationwide children's magazine called Companion? It is a magazine written by kids for kids. If you love writing stories, drawing, or creating artwork, or sharing ideas, this is your chance to shine. The deadline to submit your entries is August 15th. For more information or to submit your work, please contact your local MCNA-YMJ chapter or email us at companion@icna.org. We can't wait to see your amazing creativity. And who knows, your work could be featured in our next companion issue. We want to hear from you. Have feedback or ideas? Email us at mcna@icna.org or contact your local MCNA YMJ chapter. MCNA and YMJ has many local chapters across the United States. For more information, visit our website and click the chapter locator at www.mcnaymj.org. Stay connected and subscribe to our MCNA YMJ YouTube channel to watch any past programs and never miss a new upload. Here you can scan a QR code on the screen. Please scan them to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for updates in the future events. Are you able to scan? You can take a screenshot if that's easy to scan. I hope all y'all got it. Let's start today's program with a recitation of the Quran. والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما وداك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يؤتيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث. Let me introduce you to our speaker for today's session, Sister Ridtha Waqas. Sister Ridtha is currently studying electronic engineering at the College of New Jersey. During high school, she was actively involved in the Future Business Leaders of America, where she discovered her passion for business and finance and completed at the state level. She currently serves as a YM Cherry Hill coordinator, and she's been volunteering at Sunday school for the past 5 years. Please join me in giving her a warm welcome to Sister Ridtha Waqas.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi everyone. I hope you are all doing well and welcome back to our session on money and how we can use it wisely. Last week, before we start today's lesson, let's see what you remember from last week. In the chat, let me know what you guys remember from, if anyone is here from last session, let me know what you guys remember. I see using money wisely. That is one of the things we learned. So, last week we learned what is money, how do people earn money, how does money move, and how should Muslims view wealth. And today's question is, how can we make a plan for our money? Today's class, I'm going to answer this question. Now that we know where money comes from last class, the next question we're going to answer is, what should we do with it? Today we're going to discover how to make a plan for our money, save for things that we really want, and make smart choices every day. Let's start with a simple question. Have you ever wanted something that you couldn't afford right away? Maybe it was a new video game, a toy, a bike, a pair of shoes, or something else. When we can't afford something right now, we have a choice. We can either forget about it, or we can make a plan to save it for it. That's what saving is all about. What does it mean to save? Saving is when you keep a portion of your money instead of spending it right away. Imagine you receive $20. You could spend all $20 today, but you can also decide to save $10 and then spend the other $10 today. The $10 you save is the money you are choosing not to use right now, because you have a plan for it in the future. Saving doesn't mean you can never spend your money. It means you are thinking ahead and deciding what's more important to you. So why do we save? One reason we save is to reach goals. Sometimes things we want cost more money than we have right now. Saving allows us to slowly work toward these goals. Another reason is emergencies. Sometimes unexpected things happen. Maybe you lose something important, something breaks, or you suddenly need to pay for something. Having savings can help us be prepared. Saving also helps us avoid spending everything as soon as we get it. I know a lot of us get money and we want to spend it right away. But if we spend everything right now, we won't have anything for later. And finally, saving teaches us sabr, or patience. Sometimes we have to wait for something we really want. Saving teaches us that we don't always need to have everything immediately. Not all saving goals are the same. Some goals take a short time to reach, while others take much longer. There's two types of goals. There's short-term goals and there's long-term saving goals. Now, a short-term saving goal is things we want to save for that we can usually reach in a short period of time. And usually this is a few days, weeks, or months. And now a long-term saving goal would be things that take more time, planning, and patience to achieve. They may require saving for many months or sometimes even years. The important thing is both types of goals require us to make a plan. Now, some examples of a short-term goal could be saving for a sweet treat like candy, buying a new book, getting a new soccer ball, or saving for like a small game. These goals don't usually require to save for a long time. Some examples of a long-term goal could be a laptop, a trip, a phone, PS5, or Legos. Now let's go and let's have a scenario. You have a lemonade stand and you make $10 every day. Now you really want a new bike. Now the bike costs $50. Let's make a plan to save. On your lemonade stand on day 1, you sell your lemonade and you make $10. Day 2, you sell some more lemonade and make $10 more. Now you have $20 because you saved all of it. Day 3, you make $10 more and you save. Now you have $30. Same thing on day 4, save more $10 more, and now you have $40. And finally, on day 5, you save your last $10 and you have $50. You can finally buy your new bike. After 5 days, you have enough money to buy your bike. Now notice what happened. You didn't have $50 on day 1, you only had 10. But since you decided to save your money every day and not spend it on anything else, you had enough money for your bike. This is one of the most important ideas about saving. Small amounts can add up over time. But there's something else to think about. What if on day 2, your friend asks you to go buy ice cream? You only have $10. You could spend it on day 2, but then your bike goal would be delayed. You would have to work another day to save $10 more for your bike. You have a decision to make. Do you want the ice cream right now, or do you want to stay focused on your bigger goal? This is where patience comes in. Now, let's do the same scenario, but we have a long-term goal. So you still have your lemonade stand and you're still making $10 a day. Now, you really want a Nintendo. A Nintendo costs about $350. Let's make a long-term plan with that you're going to be saving. Now, we're going to do the same thing, except of days, you're going to be saving for weeks. So week 1, you sell lemonade for the entire week and you save up all the money. You don't spend any of it. And you make $70. You do the same thing week 2, 3, and 4, and the money starts to add up. You go from 70 to 140 to 210 and to 280. And finally, on the last week, week 5, you save $70 more and have $350. You can now buy your new Nintendo. This goal takes longer. It took you 5 weeks. You had to be more patient. You had to keep saving for several weeks instead of just a couple of days. Now, what if you wanted to spend $20 during week 2? You could, but then you wouldn't have as much saved and you would have to save even longer. This is why having a goal is important. When you know what you're saving for, it's easier to decide whether something is worth spending money on. Now, a question for you guys is, would you rather spend $10 today on something small like ice cream or like a new game, or would you save it toward a bigger goal? Drop your answer in the chat. It looks like a lot of people would save for a bigger goal. Let's take that challenge and see if you guys do it. I'll ask you guys this question again next week too. Now, there isn't always a correct answer. Sometimes it's okay to spend money on something you enjoy. Like, let's say you have $10 and you are saving towards something, but you're okay with taking longer to save for that goal, and you decide to spend $5 of your ice cream, $5 of your money on ice cream. That's okay. It depends on you. The important thing is to think before you spend that money and make sure your spending matches your goals, and that you will be able to save that much money later. Now, saving also teaches us sabr. So I mentioned sabr before, and sabr means patience. Sometimes we have to wait for something we want instead of buying the first thing that catches our attention. This is called delayed gratification. It means choosing to wait for something bigger or more meaningful instead of choosing a smaller reward right now. For example, you might want to spend $10 on a snack today, but if you save that $10, you might be $10 closer to buying a new bike. Saving doesn't mean you can never enjoy your money. It means you are making a choice about what is the most important to you. Now, before we move on, I want to ask you guys a question. Have you ever wanted something just because everyone else had it? Maybe you didn't even want it before, but then you saw your friend with it, or you saw a bunch of people at school, and then suddenly you thought, wait, I need this too. That's actually a really common feeling. Sometimes we see other people with something and it makes us feel like we need it too. But before we answer that question, let's think about something else. What is something you've seen a lot of people have? It can be like a new toy, like the newest iPhone or gadget, or any like sports equipment. It could be anything. I want you guys to like drop in the chat. It could even be like, I know some stuff I've seen is like a Neato. I've seen people with like coloring books. Coloring books has really picked up, but like people like to like monetize that. Like everyone drop something in like the chat of what you've seen a lot of people have that you might not really need. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of fire answers. I'm seeing Awala bottles, very true, squishy, Uggs, paint, glitter dumplings, a VR. Now, some of these things might be like crazy expensive, like I know a VR set, or like Uggs are kind of expensive, and then some things are a little cheaper, like squishies and glitter dumplings. But the thing is, you don't really need it. If you don't even like it, why would you get it? Did you want, now the thing is, I don't know if you guys have ever bought these things, but this, how did you ever want a thing before you saw everyone else have it? Sometimes we really want something because we enjoy it. And if it's trending or like everyone else has it and you actually like it, that's okay. But if everyone else has it and you don't like it, but you decided to buy it because everyone else has it, that's not okay. Now, I want to talk about trends. A trend is a general pattern that changes and develops. When something becomes very popular and lots of people suddenly start buying, wearing, or using it, we call that a trend, which is what I just explained right now. Everyone suddenly wants something, and even if you don't like it or you like it, everyone starts buying it. Trends can be fun, and there's nothing wrong with enjoying something that's popular, but trends can also make us feel like we need to buy something just because everyone else has it. The problem is that trends don't always last forever. An example of this can be, you see a pair of shoes that everyone at school is wearing. Let's take the Nike Pandas. It's the Nike shoes that are black and white, for anyone who doesn't know that. And you really want them. So you take the money out of your savings, you take the money in your bank account, and you go buy them. A few months later, everyone starts wearing a different pair of shoes. Now you might think, oh, I want these ones too. But if we aren't careful, we'll keep spending money just to keep up with everyone else. So in the next 2 months, we wear a different shoe. We wear the New Balances. Next 2 months, we got Uggs. Next 2 months, everyone has the new slides. So we have to be careful and think before we buy. Here are 5 things that you guys should probably write down or take a picture of. And before you buy it, think about it. Do I actually need this? Do I really want this, or do I just want it because other people have it? Will I still want it a few weeks from now? And this is really a good one where if you want something, wait an entire week for it. And if you still like keep thinking about it, then you should probably buy it. Number 4, is this worth spending my money on? And number 5, will buying this stop me from reaching a savings goal? Like let's say I'm saving up for my Nintendo hypothetically, and everyone is buying like the new viral dumpling squishies. If I buy dumpling squishies, will that stop me from reaching my saving goal of a Nintendo? Before we spend money, especially on something that's trending, it's a good idea to stop and think. We don't have to say no to everything that's popular. Instead, we want to make sure that we are making the decision rather than letting other people or trends make the decision for us. Remember, just because everyone else has something doesn't mean you need it too. So now that we've learned that sometimes we might want to buy something just because it's popular or because everyone else has it, it's important to think before we spend our money. But how can we make sure we're making smart choices with the money we have? How do we decide which we should spend, how much we should save, and what we should prioritize? Now, this is where budgeting comes in. A budget gives us a plan for our money, and helps us make sure we're using it wisely instead of spending without thinking. So now let's learn how to create a budget and make a plan for where our money should go. What is a budget? A budget is a plan for your money that balances the money you earn with the money you spend. Think of a budget like a map. If you're traveling somewhere you've never been before, a map helps you know where you're going. A budget does the exact same thing for your money. It helps you decide where your money should go. Now, there's two parts of a budget, income and expenses. What's an income, you might ask? Any money you receive from working, running a business, or investments. It can also be money that's gifted to you, weekly allowances. And then what's an expense? Money spent to buy goods or services, like any money you spent to buy the new toy that you wanted, the new game that you wanted, or anything else. So I want you guys to give me some examples of income based on the definition I just gave you. I gave you guys some ideas too. Drop in chat. Okay, I'm seeing some really good answers. I see job, allowance, Eid money is a really good one, gifts. So these are all really good answers, and actually I have some of them written down too. I have allowance, birthday or Eid gifts, money earned from chores, babysitting or helping neighbors, having a yard sale. And there's always like multiple different ways you can earn income. It's just any way that money is coming to you. So notice that income doesn't always have to come from a traditional job. People can earn money in many different ways by providing something useful to others too. So the next question is, what are some examples of expenses now? So can you guys answer that in chat? Okay, I'm seeing some really important expenses. Food, gas, furniture, water. You guys are already prioritizing the needs. Books. Love some good books. Anything used in your daily life? These are really good answers. You can have snacks, toys, games, sports equipment, charity even. So now that we've learned a little bit about income and expenses, and I think you guys understand it really well, I'm very proud of you guys, let's learn, why do we budget? So why do we need a budget? Without a budget, we might spend all of our money right away, and we might not have enough for something important later. But with a budget, we know exactly where our money is going. We can save for things we really want, and we are always prepared for unexpected expenses, and we can remember to give to others. A budget helps you plan ahead. You can decide how much to spend, how much to save, and how much to set aside for important things. You're still able to enjoy your money, but you're making sure you don't spend everything all at once. So I have an example. Your parents give you $100 for your weekly allowance. Now you immediately go out and buy the newest Lego set. Now, unfortunately, you are broke. Was buying the Lego set necessarily wrong? No, but was spending all of your money on one thing a wise financial decision? Also no. So what could you have done differently? Let's go and see the same scenario where your parents are giving you $100, but this time you decide to stop and think and make a plan. You think about what you need, what you want, and what you want to save for, and you write it all down. So this can be broken down into a budget strategy. Now, before I tell you how we should break it down, I just want to explain again what it was. So we're breaking it into 3 parts: saving, wants, and needs. Now, last class, we learned the difference between needs and wants, and today we just learned about savings. Now, I'm going to do a little review just in case you just joined or just happened to forget. A need is something you absolutely must have to live, like food or water, to stay healthy or function properly. And a want is a desire to wish, like a desire or wish for something that you do not need to survive, like candy or a game. Lastly, today we learned about saving, and savings are when you keep a portion of your money instead of spending it right away. So now that we have our 3 categories, saving, needs, and wants, we can divide how much we put in each, how much money we put in each. So let's say this is going to equal 100%. So let's say we have $100. So if I put 20% into saving, $20 go into savings. I put 30% into wants, $30 go into my wants. And I put 50% into needs, 50 out of the $100 would go to needs, like food or water. And this is just one example. Your budget might look different. Maybe you earn more every week, or maybe you earn less every week. You should just adapt to your own situation. The important thing is that you don't waste your money or spend it without thinking. Islam teaches us to be balanced and to be moderate. We want to enjoy the blessings Allah has given us, but we also don't want to be irresponsible with them. So the next topic I want to talk about is sadaqah. We've talked about how to use our money for our needs and how to save for our future goals. But there is one more important thing that we should remember. Our money isn't only for ourselves. Allah has blessed us with what we have, so we can also help others. So this brings us to our final topic, sadaqah. Now, what is sadaqah? Sadaqah is a voluntary charity or a good deed done purely out of compassion and desire to please God. When most people hear the word charity, they might think about giving money, but sadaqah is much bigger than that. Money is a small part of it, but there's more to it. You can give your time, your effort, your skills, and your kindness. This means that every person, even someone who doesn't have much money, can give sadaqah. Why is giving charity important? Why do we give sadaqah? Allah has blessed us with what we have. We have food, family, homes, education, friends, and many other blessings. Giving sadaqah is one way we show gratitude for those blessings. It also helps people who may be struggling or going through a difficult time. When we give, we're not just helping one person. We're also helping a stranger community where people care about each other. So these are the different ways you can give sadaqah. You can give money, you can give your time, or you can give your kindness. And some examples are, for money, you can give money by donating to your masjid, supporting a charity, or helping someone in need. You can give your time by helping your parents, volunteering, or visiting someone who's sick. And for kindness, you can give the kindness by smiling at someone, saying something nice, or helping someone who's struggling. Even holding the door open is an act of charity. So now that we learned what sadaqah is, let's go back to our budget and include it into it. We talked about needs, savings, and wants, but as Muslims, we also need to remember about the people around us. So let's adjust our budget and think about others. We can reduce the money we save for needs to 40% and give the remaining 10% to sadaqah. So now, hypothetically, if we had $100, instead of putting $50 into needs, we would only put $40 into things that we need and $10 into sadaqah. You can donate that $10, use it to buy food for someone, or save it up until you find an opportunity to help someone. Giving sadaqah should never be you should never have the mindset when you give sadaqah that, oh no, I'm gonna run out of money faster. Like, this money isn't going to me, it's going to somebody else now. Like, I'm not gonna have enough money. The thing with sadaqah is that every time you give, Allah gives you more. So you should never have the fear that, oh no, I'm gonna run out of money. You should always trust in Allah and give the sadaqah. Because people who aren't even Muslim actually have said every time they give to charity, and these are non-Muslims, every time they give to charity, they suddenly have more money. So if we as Muslims believe that Allah will give us more, if they're already getting so much money, we'll probably get more. And it's not even in this dunya, we might get it in the akhirah. Sadaqah is one way to invest in your akhirah. And we'll learn a little bit more about this in the next class when we learn about businesses. But I do want to put that out there as a disclaimer, that you should never have the mindset of, I'm going to run out of money. You just got to trust in Allah and dream big. Now, let's do a little reflection. Think about everything we learned today. We learned how to save, we learned how to budget, we learned how to think about needs and wants, and we learned how to give. Let's have a little reflection on, if Allah asked you how you use your money this month, would you be proud of your choices? You don't have to answer this in chat, but I want everyone to reflect and think about how we use our money after this class, how we use our money, if we're making the correct decisions, and if Allah would be proud of us on how we used our money. If you think that Allah wouldn't, then you should probably make some changes. And if you think you're doing good, then you should say Alhamdulillah. Our money is an amana, or a trust from Allah. That means we should think really carefully about how we use it. We can save patiently for our goals, we can spend wisely on needs and wants, and we can give generously to help others. So remember, earn responsibly, save patiently, spend wisely, and give generously. These are all ways we can use the blessings Allah has given us in a way that makes us and our community stronger. Inshallah, that is the end of the class, and now it is blukka time. Let me just share my screen. Right, I hope you guys can see this. All right. Today, let's change it up and do the gold quest. I hope you guys are ready. Right, inshallah. Feel free to hop on and test the knowledge that you learned today. I'm gonna wait until 7:37 and then I'll start, just so everyone has enough time to join. Alrighty, and we're going to start, inshallah. All right, that concludes our class. Congrats to all of the winners and everyone who tried and showed up today. Um, I'm not sure if the moderator.
Jazakallah khair, sister. The one thing that really touched my heart today was learning about being wise with money is not just about saving and spending, but also about making good choices and using our blessings in the way that pleases Allah. Jazakallah khair, sister Ridha, for teaching us this valuable lesson. Just another quick reminder. If you've missed any of our last sessions in the series, don't worry. You can watch their recordings on MCNA's Facebook page and YouTube channel. Feel free to share with your friends and family. We look forward to seeing you next Tuesday, July 28th at the same time, inshallah. Jazakallah khair for listening. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته